Okay, boys and girls, we are going to start to glue our dinosaur to our city picture now. So we started with a picture that we drew together with our marker, and then we need to figure out what kind of dinosaur do we want to be in our story picture. So this worksheet will show you how to create a dinosaur with different shapes. So you're going to choose one dinosaur from this paper. And if you want to put a little tiny check mark next to the box that you want to create, you can do that so you can remember which dinosaur you're creating. So I'm going to make this little long neck dinosaur right here. So I'm just going to put a check mark there. Now looking at this worksheet, I'm going to put this aside and look at it while I work because it's time now to pick what color I want my dinosaur to be. So there's a page, a colorful page with all the shapes you need to build your dinosaur. So choose the color you want. And then start with the biggest shape. So the biggest shape I see in my dinosaur is that half circle. Looks like a circle cut right in half. That's the body, the biggest shape. So I'll find that shape on my paper. Looks like it's this one. And I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out. So when I use my scissors, I put 2 fingers in the bottom, 1 thumb on top, open, close, really big. So starting with this big shape, I'm going to start to cut this out. Trying my best to stay on the lines. Okay, I have my first shape, the body of my dinosaur. So I'm going to choose, where do I want my dinosaur to be? Is he walking on the ground here? Is he jumping in the sky? Doesn't really matter, but I want to glue my body down first. So my legs of my dinosaur are going to kind of come down and touch the road, I think. So I'll glue my dinosaur's body right here. So we're going to use our glue sticks. Now when we glue a shape, boys and girls, we only need to put a little bit on the outside so it stays nice and flat. We don't need to put any in the middle. So flip it over, nice and flat, and that's my first shape. Okay, what's the next biggest shape? It looks like either the head or the feet. So I'm going to start with the feet so I can go from one shape to the next. So my feet are 2 squares, 2 small squares. So I'll start with these 2 small squares here. I can actually cut these out together if I want. So I'm going to go straight around, cut the scraps off, and then cut these 1, cut the scraps off, and then 2. Put my paper aside, glue my 2 squares. Now since these squares are so small, I can just put a little tiny dot on the back of each. 1, 2. And then I'll glue my feet right down below my body. Okay, it's looking good here. And now I need to work on the next shapes, which would be either the tail or the neck. So I'll do the neck next. It looks like 3 rectangles with a circle. So I need to find 3 rectangles in a big circle. So I'll cut out 3 of these. One, 2, and 3. Make sure I cut it out on the lines, get rid of those little scraps. And I also need a big circle, so I'll carefully go little tiny cuts, little tiny cuts, little tiny cuts all the way around until I finish cutting out the circle. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start with the neck, so I'll glue 3 rectangles first. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then my circle head is going to be on the top here. There we go. All right, so I'm looking pretty good here. It's looking just like the picture. Now on the tail, the last 4 shapes I need are 4 small triangles. So I will cut out my last 4 shapes here. And look at how I cut out my shapes, boys and girls. When I have a lot of shapes to cut out together, I cut them out kind of like together, and then I go individually. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got it. Okay, 4 little triangles on the back here. Starting with 1. I can just put little dots on my paper so it's quicker. 2, 3, and my last triangle makes 4. All right, there we go. I built my dinosaur. Oops, my last shape. There we go. Okay, so now if I want to add anything else to my picture, I can. Maybe I want to add like some eyes to my dinosaur. Maybe he has his mouth open like this with some chomper teeth. I'm not sure. I can add whatever I want, though. I can add to my dinosaur. And then once I'm done adding some details to my dinosaur, I'm going to put my name on this paper this time. Now, Miss Buettner did not write your name on this paper. You are going to try your best to find a spot on the bottom and draw your name right on the right-hand side bottom. Okay? If this is finished, we can put this in our art folder, and we're going to take any of these scraps that we have and just recycle them. Okay, let's get started.